I'm sitting at Rev's house maybe 6 or 7 weeks ago, and Rev and I are having a conversation, and he says, I'm trying to do something different. I want to have some young adults preach or speak at church for the next several weeks. So I'm taking up volunteers. And I'm always excited, and unthinkably, I'm like, make me one of those. He's like, oh, you sure? I'm like, yeah, I'm sure. I can do this. And he says, well, thank you, CJ. Rev says, well, what are you going to be talking about? And I'm thinking, well, I don't even own a Bible. I know a lot of you are looking at me like, what? Pastor Skeet, I've been in the church for over 30-something years. I don't own a Bible. My first Bible was given to me that day when he asked me what I'm going to be preaching about, and I said I have no idea, but I want to be one of those, I'm not a preacher, I want to be one of those people to speak. So I received my first Bible, and I had a business card in my hand. Most people that know me, they know that I love business, anything business. So I had a couple of business cards in my hand, and I stuck them in the Bible. I set it down and went on about my day-to-day crazy life, left the Bible there. I didn't remember about the Bible. I remembered about the business card because I had a phone call to make on one of those business cards. So I get on my way to Rev's house to go retrieve my business card, not the Bible. Of course, I had already committed myself to be one of the speakers. I opened the Bible looking for my business card, and it opened up to Proverbs chapter 6. And I'm a little curious. I was like, let me see what this Proverbs chapter 6 is talking about. I began to read it. Excuse me. I'm going to be like Rev. I began to read it. And when you have a chance, please go and read that one more time or several times. And as I'm reading it, I'm thinking, no, I'm not qualified to speak to people about the 7 things God hates. I am probably guilty of many of them, if not all. I'm not going to tell all my business, but many of them, if not all. And conviction sets in, and I struggled for several weeks. I keep reading it. Should I speak on Proverbs? Should I not? And as imperfect and as not worthy as I thought I am, or not being able to measure up, it dawned on me, Christ measured up for me already, and he found me worthy to be your speaker today. So we're going to learn together about these 7 things or sins that God hates. So, although these are not the only sins that God hates, they sum up most of the wicked sins condemned by God. They deal with the deep inner hearts and motives of an individual. Rev always says he has to preach to himself several times before he comes up here. I preached to myself. I went to the bathroom several times, and all the nerves settled in. But I want us to go into 2018 knowing some of these things, and I think it helped me understand myself and try by all means to avoid most of these things. So we're going to go with, I'm going to read it one more time on the 7 things. It's a long chapter, but I'm going to go back to verse 16. What the Lord hates. The Lord hates 6 things. In fact, 7 are detestable to him: arrogant eyes, a lying tongue, hands that shed innocent blood, a heart that plots wicked schemes, feet eager to run to evil, a lying witness who gives false testimony, and one who stirs up trouble among brothers. So we'll go to the first one, a proud look. I know we all know many people that have feelings of pride. They look down on others, individuals with excessively high opinions about themselves. They think themselves with unparalleled importance. I feel important everywhere I go. I had to look at myself when I went through these 7 things. I feel important everywhere I go. I'm sure a lot of us do. People that are demeaning, the words that come out of their mouths are demeaning to others. We have to remember, it is only by the grace of God that we are who we are today. We cannot judge. So as I did my research, I found Galatians 2, verse 20. I have been crucified with Christ, and I no longer live, but Christ lives in me. We're reminded that anything good is in us is because of the results of Christ living in us. Nothing good can come out of pride. And Proverbs 16:18 says, pride goes before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall. Your pride, we're going to fall flat on your face. So, as we go into 2018, let's try humility. And that's one of my hard things. I like to think I just think I have humility that is controlled by confidence. Excuse me. But I had to remind myself there's a thin line, a very thin line between humility and arrogance. And I'm sure most of us are guilty of it. We have breached that thin line before. I know I have. But let's strive to keep our motives pure and to come before God with a clean heart. Let's try by all means. It is hard. It is not easy. I speak this from the bottom of my heart. But women, we are guilty. The eyes, not just the proud eye, there are eyes that could kill. If you heard that before, like if eyes could kill, it would be an empty world. We can look you down from head to toe and you're dead. So, ladies, let's try by all means 2018 humility. Let's try to do good. Bring out the good in everything that we do. So I'm going to try to move fast. I'm going to pull a Reverend Amanda here. I know it's been a long service, and I'm going to try not to talk so long. So the second one is the lying tongue. My goodness, the tongue, one of the smallest parts of our bodies, but can be destructive and can be beneficial depending on how you choose to use it. We're living in a world where most people no longer think their words are important. We take them lightly. We say things lightly. We tell a little lie here and there. Who's never lied in here? Who has never lied? Even Gigi didn't put up her hands. We all are guilty. We all lie. Sometimes we justify our lies by, hey, I mean, it was to my advantage. I'm sure God will forgive it this time, and then the next time we'll do it again over and over. But a lying tongue, very dangerous. Luke 6, Jesus plainly said, your words show what is in your heart. We speak, we just talk. But everything we say, we're accountable for it. We will be condemned for it. Whether we want to justify it or not, our words show what is in our hearts. So the next time we speak, let's think of that. Twisted words can only come out of twisted people. And boy, we have a lot of twisted heads, twisted people all over. It's sad, but it is the world we're living in now. So a lying tongue is one of the things that God hates. So let's encourage one another in becoming one with our spirit, our souls, and our bodies. Let there be no confusion amongst those three. And let's set examples of righteousness and truth at all times. I'm going to move on to the third thing. I hope you're following me. What was the first one? I'll be very disappointed. What was the first one? I still don't hear the back. Arrogant eyes. What was the second one? Lying tongue. And we're going to move on to the third one. Wow. When I saw the third one, I certainly thought that should have been the first one. Hands that shed innocent blood. And I found out I'm guilty of this one. Who here has not shed any innocent blood? Kill, murder. Who hasn't done it? Who hasn't done it? Some of y'all still have their hands down, so I'm sure. Who here has shed innocent blood? Who has not? Who has not? So the rest of y'all have. Tete, have you not? Blessing, you have not. Rev, Ganyo, have you shed innocent blood? Murder, kill? Mais follow, you haven't. Okay, well, let me tell you. Matthew 5, I had to do a lot of research. Matthew 5, verse 21 to 24, it says, hating someone else unreasonably without offering room for forgiveness is a sin equivalent to murder. Did y'all know that? I'm going to repeat this. Matthew 5, verse 21 to 24, it says, hating someone else unreasonably